It is the 22nd day of the 4th month of the years of Albion. I do not recall the names off the top of my head yet. I'll get in the habit of that correctly soon. The weather is fair, though trending towards heavy spring rains. And as we have established earlier, there are a lot of people. There are 3 keelboats off the ports of Cadence Rest, doing business with the town. Only one, and in addition to those 3, there is one of yours, which is prepared to either do business here or carry you back to the gates of the Great Cavern of Rappan Athuk. Now, my understanding is that your intention is to return again to the Great Cavern. Am I correct?
Indeed, yes. Who's the caller today?
I believe. Let me double check. I believe it's Father Bloombad.
I was last week.
I think.
Oh, were you? In that case, no, it's Perderi. It's AJ.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our intent. Was we're going to go back to the cavern and delve a little deeper past the ravine, and maybe try to get some more treasure to restock.
Cool.
And so we have heard something of Father Bloombad's communion, so to say. Is that right?
That is my assumption.
Yes, I would have shared that with everyone.
Can we can we ponder it together, sift through it before we set out? I mean, might help us be sure of our game plan.
Indeed. One thing, actually, before we get too far ahead, remember that it costs under normal circumstances 1 gold piece per day to sustain yourself in food and housing on the frontier. Some of your food and housing is kind of skipped over because you're not in town for much of it, but I trust you guys to handle the necessary expenses. So record the gold expenses of your basic life maintenance. I will make a note in the Otherworld Adventures to remind you.
Oh, great DM, Sir Richard. How many days have gone by since last?
Well, conveniently enough, I had to write all this down all fancy-like. You arrived in Cadence Rest in the Myrmidon of late evening on the 19th. So you've had the 20th and the 21st all to yourselves. And now it is the 22nd.
So we need to pay 3 gold?
Yeah, 3 gold.
Okay.
Plus rations.
Mm-hmm.
We can easily create some things that could cause distractions.
Mm-hmm.
But we probably should have maybe set out someone's henchman or something to try to find a suitable interpreter that speaks Goblin.
Well, remember, there is a goblin keelboat in town who you can attempt to do business with.
They're in town right now?
Yeah, I hashed that out in roleplay. There is the belly button, a long and narrow keelboat of a strange black wood, captained by the goblin Darmater. It was bringing various sealed crates, which they were offloading at Ullman specifically. And Darmater speaks English well enough.
AJ, are you able to chat while you're driving?
I'm home. Yeah, I'm just sitting down right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm available. Yeah. So, do we want to? I guess my question is more: do we think that this will give us more value going back in? Because we're not going to the same place we just were. We're going deeper in, correct?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when we were looking at that. Is that our plan was to go ahead to the place with the big skull. So, then I mean, who knows? There might not even be goblins there, and I don't know how far we would need to travel. Like, I don't know how far it even goes in or where it goes.
There's much mystery.
Yeah, I mean,
That being said, having the distraction still seems like a good plan. Like having something that, certainly having enough oil flasks. I don't have any extras, but we had a bunch. Does somebody had like a bunch of oil flasks?
Yeah, there's most of your. God, how many are there? There are 37 oil flasks distributed amongst your retainers at this time. There's a lot.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's not something we could do under every circumstance, especially when we're talking about scurrying along the edge of a creek bed. But the ability in a dry space to set down a fire break in order to enable an escape seems like a pretty good thing.
Mm-hmm. There was some discussion of caltrops from John.
Yeah,
Right.
or maybe more food. What else? Like we need according to Bloombad's vision, obstacles, impediments, distractions.
I got
I
one.
don't know. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so caltrops are not on the equipment list, but what is on the equipment list is a musical instrument. So we draw lots amongst the followers, and maybe Father Bloombad does it, and he says the one who's most favored by the light must demonstrate their courage in the hour of direst need.
Oh, that's
and one person plays the viol as they attract via noise all of the scurrying things, just long enough, to be able to get a good enough distance to lay down a volley from a nearby rock bed, and then they need to sprint. And then there's, maybe we I don't know, honor them in some way if they manage to pull that off.
my lordy.
Do we want to bring some torchbearers for the purpose?
Only if they can be leveled. We have our hirelings, but such level 0 person, I would only...
You cannot hire level 0 personnel as emergency distractions for the amount of money which you are offering. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not in your budget.
I don't know. I think Perderi might find a problem with that level, the ethics of that level of zealotry.
There's a lot of zealotry on this peninsula. I don't even know that it would be that hard to find.
It's not, all right. That's not the most lawful act I've heard all day.
All right, I got another one. You ready? I got another one. All right.
Ready or not, here it comes.
Fishing net, 25 square feet. And
pretty good.
And we keep buddy teams where 2 of them can draw them across in a flank, and then jam 3 spears, or even halberds, and we sacrifice them, jam the halberds down into the soil, or even against the walls, just long enough to create like a tripping barrier if there's such a horde.
Oh, Test, I love your icon.
That's pretty solid.
It's from a commission I did for someone else, so it's technically not my character, but shh.
Okay, I won't tell anyone. All right, fishing net, not a bad idea. You could definitely improvise that into an entangle.
So this costs money. It'd be 8 gold pieces plus 3 is 11 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm. What is the cost of an iron spike?
And I have that money, and I can pay for it.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing iron spikes. Let me look at the iron spikes.
I was also looking at iron spikes to get a sense of okay, what might a caltrop cost? And here's my basic assumption. My default conception of and a heavy thing you can throw as a distraction is a pile of food, which is to say a ration, which costs 1 gold. So for 1 gold, you can get a distraction which is pointy instead of edible. Caltrops are not useful.
In my game, Oh, sorry.
No, please do continue.
The way it's shaken out in my game, I should say, is I just priced them as darts to start, and then I didn't really go farther than that because I figured it probably an equivalent amount of steel. If a dart can be considered to be something like a throwing dagger or something like that.
Yeah, caltrops.
Although caltrops are pretty Yeah, but then he was like, well, how many would it take to occupy a square? And I was like, 5. Like, I know that's not that many, but also, like, it makes it difficult terrain. Like, if there's 5 there and you know they're there, you still have to step around them. If you don't know they're there, you could easily step on one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Conveniently, 5 darts costs 1 GP.
Gold. Yeah, funny how it works out.
Right. It looks like, unfortunately, our Dub Harku has rolled a 1 for their level 2 hit points. If I am correctly interpreting the 1d6 you rolled, Father Bloombad.
Yes, sir.
All right. From 6 hit points to 7. But it's not so bad now they can cast magical spells. Oh, speaking of, if one of your retainers is a spellcaster, please write down what spells they've got memorized in the Otherworld, Adventures Discord somewhere.
Will do. So could I buy like I don't know. You said they might be kind of heavy earlier. I don't know, maybe 15 caltrops or darts, whatever we're going with.
I'm going to think of caltrops as one unit that you throw down. Don't worry about them on a caltrop by caltrop basis. So each bag of caltrops is a gold, and you throw them down, and it impedes like a square.
Gotcha.
And it weight, but in the spirit of his advice, they do have a weight. A bag of caltrops is 5 pounds. But remember, you've got a lot of inventory capacity among your retainers, because wizards don't wear armor.
Okay, so is anyone willing to invest in caltrops? Is anyone willing to invest in the net with the spears or large stakes? And another, I guess, more commentary. Should we split in the retainer sheet? Should we split known spells and prepared spells into 2 different columns?
Don't worry about it. You do not need to write down your prepared spells in the NPC retainer sheet. The NPC retainer sheet is more for me to keep track of them, like, strategically. Within the context of a specific game session, I trust you guys to keep track of your own accounting of what your guys have. I just want it written down somewhere where I can glance at it briefly and just be like, okay, that's consistent.
Yeah. So I'll buy 4 bags, and Mordagion can carry them. That'd be like 20 pounds for him to carry.
You can handle that. Because I can see at a glance that he has spare capacity of 68 pounds in column X. All right. Now, can I safely assume that you guys are going to take the Myrmidon back downriver again?
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
It's the kill boat is what he means, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. Do you want to do any discussion with the goblins aboard the Belly Button and their captain before you go? Like, to be honest, if your first reaction to, oh, goblin sailors is to, I don't want to get that on me, completely reasonable. But I just want to double check before we commit to moving without resolving that plot thread.
We need a goblin.
Yeah, I think it'd be advantageous to at least set up some sort of repertoire. Though you guys have worked with him before, right?
They don't think it's the same goblin. The boat looks similar, but and the arrangement looks similar, but it looks like it's a different goblin.
I mean, I guess that's expected with goblins.
They have a lot of turnover.
Yeah. So. Okay. I mean, I think Perderi could plant the seed of there's a potential for future business just to keep him interested in coming back this way, maybe. So.
I hate to sound goblinist, but we could. But let's be honest. Listen. Okay, listen. Now, we've dealt with these. Well, you all have dealt with these goblins before, all right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you can combine two goals here. You can pay them or entice them in some way to keep them out of the peninsula. Like, don't have them coming around there like causing trouble. They'll get killed anyway. You don't want to just get killed. We don't want them to get killed. We need them to talk. But accomplish that. Like, like say, hey, we'll pay you to just stay around this area and give them a job or something. I don't know. How much money do we have? We have money to do that? Do they want money?
You made a lot of money last session.
Why don't we pay them to be a regular route back and forth to that area and start transporting lumber to and then we can pay them.
Let's just figure out what their rate is, because I don't trust them. That's why. That's the answer to that question.
It does seem they have an ongoing deal with the one merchant, so that may be another.
Look at if they hook in with whatever the goblins are doing, mining the mithril. Is that mithril?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's gold in it too, but it's an ore that's mithril and gold.
They should hook up together. We should force them to work together, and then we should take the vast majority of their profits.
Magnus has seen his opportunity to begin the goblin cult. I mean, charity.
Look at these people are easy to manipulate, and they're evil at heart, and so I don't see why anyone's conscience should bother them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And
so
they have a keelboat and they speak in this goblin.
What is your plan to get these creatures under your heel, or under your thumb, or around your thumb, whatever metaphor you want to use?
Well, I'm short one goblin follower at the moment.
So should I just save some time and roll a saving throw? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll a save and make it easy.
Okay. I'll roll this 1d20 and we'll see if it rolls really high or really low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a 14. I have to actually look it up now.
Oh my. That might do it for him, depending on what level you judge him to be.
Why don't they ever list a saving throw someplace convenient? Wait, yes they do. What am I talking about?
Wait, you guys are going to go ahead and see if he dies? Is this like a premonition?
I think he's charming.
Yeah, he's charming him. Okay, so the base saving throw of a goblin is... Saves on an 18. Better than that, but not that much better than that. Yeah, you charm him.
They have a... what is that? A 10% chance to save?
It's not good. So here is the situation after a brief and profitable discussion with God, what was his name again? Darmitter. Thank you. Yes, Darmitter.
Wow.
Ask questions, and Darmitter shall provide.
What kind of questions?
What do you want to know about this goblin and what their needs are? Like, if you want to know their price for working with you, as he can give you the friendship rate because you and him go way back. But
okay, yes, right. I think I've charmed him before, actually. It's been a while, but I think I charmed him before.
That was a different goblin.
Yes,
true, you can tell the goblins apart. This is not the same goblin.
Oh, okay. Can I?
You're goblinist,
I guess
but you're not that goblinist.
Do you care to?
Well, no, I do care to. I need to. You need to. Every angle you can get on these monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, I want to know. I basically want to suss out whether or not he could actually be trusted. If he and his crew could be trusted, if not necessarily not to kill each other or just be goblins, but could they be trusted to hook up with the mining operation and turn it into some money for me?
Well, the problem there, boss. The problem there is that you surface rollers don't have much money. You don't have that much you can offer us. Now, if you can get some of those goods, I mean, what do you want to pay us in? Gold? We've got gold. We've got gold coming out our ears. Now, if you want to pay us in like some of that really good, and if you want to pay us in some of that really good lumber you have, maybe you could maybe make some deals with that. But Conversions between mithril and lumber? Not
Oh, I
good.
got an idea. Hey, there's a great camp spot right at the mouth of the cave. And I think if the town donates the lumber and you all donate the labor, I mean, you get to live there basically for free. You'll be right there. You can set up a nice little pier for your boat.
Under
Have a
the
nice
Daystar?
profitable.
Ugh.
Well, no, right in the mouth of the cave. Why does it have to be under the sun? There's plenty of room for a boat like this size to make it a few dozen yards into the cave before it gets narrow.
I could see it. I've just been... Replacing the boat does get expensive. All right.
Why not set up a nice, peaceful operation with some like-minded fellows down in the depths, and everybody wins, and there's peace on the route from the town to the mouth.
No profit in peace.
Well, there is when we're the ones
all right.
taking the
but
road.
You have to clear the kobolds out of there.
That won't be a problem.
Ugh.
Where are the kobolds?
Oh, they've been
Point is
hunkered down in that cave for a little while. They've been hunkered down in a side cave in the long tunnel between the Great Cavern and the Sunlands. Ugh. It's been a dreadful pain. Only for a few days now. Frankly, we'd just as soon be rid of them.
Well, can you get me a meeting with a large group of them? Doesn't need to be a long meeting.
I think we can.
Wonderful. I think we can
Never
work
follow
something out.
kobolds into a cave, my friend. Never follow them in. They've already trapped it 6 ways from Sunday. Never follow a goblin either. In fact, awful daring to follow me. Do you have any more of that good surface wine?
I hand him a bottle. The worst.
Ugh.
The worst surface wine.
Ugh.
I don't know. I think Ross is the arbiter on this. I may or may not have a very, very nice bottle.
I'm not.
You're gonna offer the good stuff
from the other game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, Perderi came back from there. Yeah,
you've got Frank Ryan.
I don't
got the good stuff.
No. Let me explain. I don't know what to reveal here. Actually, I guess it depends. This is the best wine you've ever seen, without going further into it.
Oh, does it have a picture of that's kind of risque?
It's unacceptable amongst these goodly folk. It is unacceptable, quite frankly.
I have a bottle you might be able to substitute for a down payment.
It's worth 500 gold pieces.
Damn. You already got the experience points for that, right?
Yes.
Then pour away. Just make sure that you get the experience points before you drink it.
Would you like that bottle, Magnus?
If you're offering, I mean, later we'll have a conversation about how much charity to show these creatures. You give them an inch, they take a mile.
It's true.
Yeah, I think Perderi and Magnus could be of similar mind of that.
Okay, but yeah, for the sake of setting the hook, I have no problem with it.
Oh, this is good surface wine. Where did you find this? You know what? Cheers. Eyeing the bottle covetously, already contemplating how to steal it. Don't worry, he's easily distracted.
Was he missing any hit points?
No, he's fine.
Okay.
Was
I guess
he? No, he's fine.
Does
it heal you? I guess we'll find out later.
So then we need to actually divert some lumber, I guess, at some point. We don't need to do that maybe tonight, but...
No, it's a future project.
Yeah.
We should probably write some of this down, though, in case Darmadur gets replaced by another goblin later.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, just find all of the literate members of the crew and write up an understanding.
Well, that's Darmadur and basically just Darmadur, so...
Oh, yeah.
So are you, talking about creating a goblin outpost? Is that what you're talking about?
That's what Magnus is talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, Magnus has seen worse. That makes sense to me.
Keeping them a safe distance from humans is good practice.
The thing
but
is, these
it's a
goblins
dangerous
with the
road.
keel, the goblins with the keel, we have no. It would be, I think, a foolhardy venture to try to roust out all the goblins that may be under here. That one dude who was the mining boss or whatever, he didn't care how many of those guys died. So that means there's plenty more, and it just seems like a big distraction.
This is a great power move. I'm down. I'm not even. Although, like, we'll find out the goblins are at war with the gargoyles.
I'm just
later
explaining.
Or
I mean, Magnus would have no problem explaining his mind to anyone who asks. Usually, he doesn't offer it, but
Anyway, it is 30 minutes after. We have established a good working relationship with Darmeter. Shall we proceed onward? Are you guys going to try and... You're still going to take the Myrmidon keelboat to town. Or sorry, to the destination, right? To the cavern? All right. Any objection to doing that presently?
Don't think there's anything else that anyone needs to do. Everyone has their rations, nets, and oil, and all that fun stuff, right?
Does anybody have any...
Well, sorry, I want to be clear. Did we just make an agreement to... Are we going to meet with kobolds tonight, or is that...
Almost immediately, yeah.
Okay.
Does anybody have any spare fighter hirelings?
Yes, I have 2 that you're free to take control of, as far as I'm concerned.
Can you post them in Discord, and then I'll have them prepare the net when that becomes a tactic that needs to be activated.
They're going to go into adventures.
If you scroll in, I'll post the NPC retainers link again, but it should be in there.
Yeah, Frangag and Naum are who you're looking for.
Okay.
If you need a third, you can have a Nicel.
I'll just do the...
So.
Okay, I got him.
Did anybody want to do an instrument like Norbert suggested earlier? As another.
There's probably a budget to have one. There's probably a good idea just to have one on the ship, regardless, just to pass the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Some kind of screechy violin, stringed instrument or something.
No. No. A
penny whistle.
No, a lute or something along those lines.
A mandolin.
Or a lyre.
Ooh, lyres are good.
You want it to be soothing, not grating?
Would certainly be both mine and Magnus's preference.
Well,
I think
yeah.
eye to eye on that.
Because the first Ross mentioned something that would, set the enemies on their,
lure them away. Yes.
Yeah.
I think we need to keep this goblin crew soothed. Or it's not. We're not going with the crew. Sorry. No. Just what? Yeah. Just sorry. Okay.
You have a crew, and I'm sure they would also prefer to listen to a lyre rather than a agonizing low quality violin. But we'll see what comes of it. We proceed the timeline. You mount upon the Myrmidon with your soldiers and your sailors, and your victuals and your treats. And bolstered by the speed of the rushing river, you sail through the day and through the night and to a little bit of the morning before you reach the cross in the river, where you have to fork right and begin moving upriver and row upriver towards your destination for a little while before you can properly beach the keelboat. And once the keelboat is properly beached, you then go farther in to go farther along the river against the flow as the canyon walls rise around you until finally you reach the place where the river flows out from the breach in the earth, and you begin to pass beyond the realm of the sun. And not far past that, you encounter the small side passage spoken of by the goblins, whereupon you encounter a quartet of bivouacked kobolds, who are in some ways quite familiar to Magnus, in that they certainly resemble the Zuvnu he knows, but they also seem less ridiculous, more competent, less drunk. It's hard to say. To which I now yield the floor to the miscellaneous kobolds, who may describe to them, for our benefit, whatever fortifications they have entrenched themselves behind.
Well, you wouldn't see them at first. The kobolds themselves would be hidden a little out of sight, but judging from the bedrolls, you would determine their numbers approximately. But they don't jump out and attack, and they don't have like a fortification. They don't have like a wall of stakes or anything such prepared. Instead, one of them kind of like peeks out, like, "Hey, you you're the sun goblins?" Then you hear some like angry chittering to each other, like, "Humans! We've been waiting for you."
And who are you?
They mutter to each other about that response. It's like, "I'm named Zox. These are my friends Batu, Kala, and Molo. We were sent on I kind of pause on behalf of Zuvnu. As a tribute to help. Yes."
Oh, how very kind of Zuvnu. I do miss him sometimes. I hope he's doing well.
Oh, he's doing just fine. He taught us this language, and something about your culture, some of your culture.
And your goddess, how does she fare?
They kind of like glance nervously at one another, and just kind of like look like they don't have a good answer to that, and they're just like, "Well, we were sent on behalf of him. Let's just focus on that for now. We don't have a lot of time to waste. We heard that you are, however, enemies of Orcus. Is that correct?"
Oh, brief aside, a clarification: the name Orcus has not come up, and in fact is not used explicitly in this thing. But the enemy of the dark god below, same vibe.
All right. My apologies, Oosili.
De nada.
All right, the dark one below. We heard that you're enemies of them.
There can be no doubt of this.
All right, then. What's important is that we're on the same. We follow the same purpose. I noticed that these totally not goblins do have a regular goblin with them. Is that right?
Not at this time. I believe
Okay,
they
just
parted
on behalf
ways.
of them.
Yeah, they came to an agreement and parted ways.
I tug on maybe Oofkill's armor and I say, why does it look like we're it looks like we're gonna go into that hole with a mix between a coyote and an iguana.
Yes, you've put your finger right on it, my friend.
No, I don't want to do that.
So
Oh, well.
again, we can speak your language.
I don't like that.
Yes.
They
Well-
mutter to one another in Draconic, like.
Well, what would you like? We've already made friends with some goblins.
I think they should take the right flank, like over there.
You hear that?
Is that a metaphor?
Yeah.
No, he just wants to be. I think he wants to be on the opposite
He
side
wants
of the
to be
group.
on whatever part of the group you're at. He'd like to be on the other side. That's fine. We always need people on both sides. So.
Of course.
Out of character, Magnus is much more comfortable dealing with monster things than the rest of us usually.
Perhaps uncomfortably so, perhaps.
Yes, uncomfortably
Out of
so.
character, this reminds me of a more pedestrian matter. Can you guys test that you can move your hirelings around in the Rappan Athuk thing? Because I believe I've got them set up so everyone should be able to move anyone's hirelings, but more specifically yours.
I can only move Naum and Frangag. I cannot move Island.
All right. I can see why that is. I'm fixing that. All players, save settings. Okay. Island is good.
I can't move Norbert.
All right.
Okay. I don't know why. Okay. So that's built on the Norbert there.
It doesn't matter, actually. I'm going to use my other box for that. It's okay.
Oh yeah, it's only one of those. Okay. So with that in mind, it occurs to me that the kobolds have never had introduction to the party. So if you guys would be willing, can you briefly introduce your characters for the benefit of the kobolds as player test pattern?
Well, Magnus is a man in his mid-50s, with a medium length, mostly white beard at this point, with streaks of black in it, and a tied back long hair, and a rather deep set eyes, and shift and plain robe with a rather large pack, and he's got big arms, big strong arms,
Big, beautiful lunk of a man.
Muscle
and a
wizard.
staff.
Why is there a
Yeah.
muscle wizard in every game I play?
Why would there ever not be a muscle wizard?
Hey man,
All right, now tell us
Muscle
about
Wizard,
Norbert.
Muscle Wizard is great.
Tell us about Norbert, sir.
We all envy Matt.
Intimidating hobgoblin. Go ahead.
His name's Norbert, and he looks like this.
Nice.
And
His eyes are pointed in different directions.
That's cool.
you're not sure who he's talking to. Sometimes it's true. But anyways, Norbert, he's got some goats, and his goat got sick, and so he's heard that these black cloaked lot go into these places and get money. So he went with them to get money for his sick goat, and then now he's got a bunch more goats because that goat had goats, and then those goats are sick. And so now he's got to get a whole lot more money than before. It's good that his mum taught him everything he needed to know about going into holes in the ground and carrying sticks and whatnot, and about the treachery of the French.
Outstanding.
All right, tell us about Praderi.
Praderi is a man of maybe slightly above average height, clad in, well, on the boat he would have been wearing leather armor, but whenever we get to the destination he'd switch over to plate. But he wears plate armor, shield, and he carries a large sword. Seems like he's seen some scuffles, though maybe not as many as some of the other members of this fine group. And just a generally always kind of like a smile in his eye kind of person, with a short beard and helmet. The helmet would have been down as dealing with the kobolds, but as things kind of turn a little bit more civil, he kind of pushes it back up on top of his head a little bit. Yeah, just that's Praderi. He's a very kind of generally merry man.
Nice. Bloombad. Tell us of the Bloombad.
Yes, Father Blumbad is a holy man dressed in a highly polished plate mail, clean shaven, and he studiously ignores the kobolds that have joined us.
Okay. And John, tell us of brain.
Yes, Ulfkill.
Yes,
My name-
Ulfkill.
My name is Ulfkill Snilling. I am from the north. I have, as you can see, very weathered skin. I'm wrinkled. Some say that I'm boorish. I think I'm quite charming, but anyway, I like my wine, and I like the singing. I'm not fond of these goblinoid types. I have a war hammer that I'm proud of, and I recently came into this lovely reinforced mail that you see with a very hard carapace that we won from some giant insects. So I think that makes me look rather dashing here
It
amongst you.
does. It's honestly the kobolds probably appreciate it more than anyone else. Like it's brutal, man.
Yeah, you seems like a terrifyingly dangerous group. So it seems we want to stay on your good side. Absolutely.
Real quick, John. Ulfkill is still using Gold Spear, correct?
I bear it. I'm the steward of it on behalf of Algar, our beloved ranger, who was called away
the golden spear. All right, and next step. Who wants to explain to me how to navigate directly from the entrance of the Great Cavern to the level you are trying to get to? All right, Ross.
Go to the water and then stay along that.
All right, which side of the water?
Oh, you mean like when you enter? So we want to enter on the west side, or our right
yeah.
coming in. Yeah.
Yes, that will carry you directly to your destination, as you will go from here.
It's on the west side, and then we're traveling north or south.
You follow the river against its distance. Through the magic of the game conventions, you are protected from otherwise inscrutable and vicious random encounters until you reach the entrance of the river. And then you encounter the walk-up river. Did you bring sandals to keep your boots dry? Of course you did. You've practiced at this. A walking stick, too, perhaps, as you step into the water, deeper than you hoped. More than knee-deep, lapping at your hamstrings and higher, but never quite reaching the hips. The kobolds might need to float along on someone's shield, might need to clamber along on someone's shoulder. It's cold! The water is so cold! Bringing back memories of Darkentide and the lip-bluing ferocity of the winds, the desperation to make fire. And you wade upriver, bearing up against the quiet, merciless waters for what must have been an hour, maybe more, until the air grows warm enough to soothe the pain of chilblains and the claustrophobically low ceiling of the underground river loomed high again. And you enter another cave, one that feels so different. Thank you very much for the music management, my man. The air is so thick with steam you can't see out to the full reach of your lights. The radiance of Bloombad's holy symbol and Magnus's lantern vanishes into the mists, creating a no-man's land between light and darkness surrounding you on either side. Beyond it lies a different character of darkness, something not lazy but eager, toothy, and hungry to watch you slip. The terrain in there, too, is different. Every surface is algae. All footing is uncertain and slimy. Pray that you needn't run here, nor take up arms. The walls are shelved in fungus, thick and woody and feeding on uncertain things. Everywhere, it seems, the walls have little cracks, crevices, narrow corridors leading nowhere, fit to cower in, fit to die in. The impatience of this place and the warmth and the mist feels like being inside a mouth. And now you return here to that mouth. It is a little after noon.
So the water is not here, like the current or the river is not here. We're in an area where we've kind of gone up above that in elevation. Is that right?
You have just gotten... sorry, this part is still the river, but let me move you past it. Da-da, da-da. Moves you here, moves you here.
This is Perdaria's first time in this cavern, so he's looking around and feeling very uneasy with the weight of all this earth over his head.
Indeed. You are passed far beyond the realm of the reach of the sun. Even the kobolds are likely at unease here, simply because the mists that bloom around you cut your line of sight to no more than 60 feet.
Well, nevertheless, that gives us a fairly good amount of vision in the dark. It's nice being out of the Daystar.
It's true. Your head is clearer down here.
The light protects.
I just don't say anything.
I think it really does. And
actually, we were wondering if maybe you could, when we get closer to something that's trouble, if you could douse that, or if that would be a problem.
It would be a great detriment to.
Yeah, we won't be able to do that.
All of
Sorry.
us.
Yeah.
They kind of grumble. The kobolds grumble to one another.
Yeah.
So in terms of like effectiveness, their equipment is no better than your typical kobolds, but there seems to be in somewhat better repair than typical.
Indeed.
I mean, if it troubles you, by all means, you can lead the way.
I was just going to suggest that, as a matter of fact. You seem like you'd make the perfect scouts.
They comment to one another in a language you don't speak, but definitely seems to have an air of like,
Magnus,
is this a trick?
Magnus actually does speak it.
But
It's
they
just
don't know
Magnus
that, which
will.
is hilarious.
Oh. Well, it's important for me to know because now I have to actually think of what they're saying. But they certainly seem to. Okay, they're basically saying to each other like, "Is this a trick? Is this a trick?" Like, I don't think they like us. It's like, yeah, but they seem to be tolerant. Like, that's all we
Well, I
need.
think it's. I mean, after a pause, I say, I think it's so important that we all learn to trust each other if we're to survive down here, and this seems like a perfect opportunity, don't you think?
Oh no.
They pause a sec, like, what was that a trick? And like, they finally just like shake their heads to one another and then nod to you and say like, okay, we'll fan out. They agree to take point ahead of the light source.
Magnus barely contains a smirk.
All right. What is your path? Which way are you going? Allow me to briefly just verify. You guys can all see the location which I am currently pinging. Yes.
Yes, very small dot.
Yes. It's
Okay.
unclear to me what the choices are, or is it just an extent into darkness, and we just have to pick a direction?
We have a basic direction in mind, right? Like,
There are-
Worlds have also never been here, so
Here
we don't
are the
have any-
landmarks you can navigate by. You can follow the right wall. You can follow the river upstream. You can cross the river and follow the opposite wall. And let me make sure I am properly described. I have not confused the geography here.
I mean, if we follow the river goes somewhere, but we're also going to be losing out on other real landmarks and side passages and whatnot.
It's also slippery, and like the more we're along
Yeah.
the actual carved rocks from the water, the more we're gonna deal with that footing issue. And then the walls are porous, which are porous enough, according to the description, that something can come in and out of it. So we need a way to deal with one of those two and then pick it, in my opinion. I mean, let's just go stick our arms in the holes, man, and somebody will figure it out. Somebody will figure out what's in there.
We've all seen The Mummy, right?
We don't have anything to put on our feet or anything, which is unfortunate. Maybe we could do that in town. That would not be... all we
Like
would
some
need is like
crampons?
cloth, or something. I mean, crampons seem... Actually, maybe we could pay the blacksmith for crampons. But yes.
Yes. I'm going to play blunt, and you can hold me to this. You can. That'll take some time. It might take them longer than you prefer. But they wouldn't be very good, but they would be better than the problems you would be facing without them.
You could literally take a chain shirt and then just put a chain shirt gaiter, on your boot in the middle
Like
sole
tire
of the
chains.
boot. Yeah, a tire chain. But in the meantime, what we could do is like take our shirts off and strap it around the middle seam of the boot. But then we would lose the shirts and linen. But otherwise, I don't know what we could do about the holes. The holes just sound like something are ready to pull us in there and kill us.
How about this? Perderi will take, let's say, 10 feet of his hempen rope, and he'll untwine it, and so he can wrap that around our boots.
How long would that take?
About 20 minutes.
Would that aid in any kind of saving throws, like number?
Yes.
What are these holes again? Like, I thought there were holes on the walls we could just avoid, but we're walking over them.
Well,
There
we're
are
talking
holes
about
in-
the slippery floors as well.
Yeah, there are two problems they're facing. One, the flooring is slippery with algae, uneven. It's bad footing. And if you have to get into a melee combat in these circumstances, there's a risk of slipping and falling. And they're thinking of ways to ameliorate that. Their proposal would ameliorate it somewhat in the sense that we'll call it the leather armor of protection. So it will give you a +2 to your saving throw.
Okay.
A better protection would be chainmail, and crampons would be plate. There we go. Aren't we clever? The other problem is the walls. The walls here are not like clean vertical walls. They are riven with crevices and crawl spaces where a person could side shimmy their way in and hide, where a creature could lurk and squat and get ready to leap out and eat any human that's right next to it, where a human could frantically dive into them in order to escape. All sorts of... There is a porousness to the walls.
I suggest we stay, 50 feet from the walls or so.
Yeah, a good standoff.
and then just
a good.
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, I following the walls just feels like a better approach than wandering around in the dark.
Yeah, and then the other thing, as far as like taking the 20 minutes to make it so that we can't slip and fall, would be taking the rest of your rope and doing what we. This is an oldie but a goodie. There's been multiple circumstances where you guys have had to do this. We belay each other. Where when you get into tight spaces and stuff like this, or where somebody might fall and trip, we should belay everyone and tie everyone's belt line off or something.
That sounds good.
That's very viable.
Do any of our more magically inclined people have anything that they can do to deal with the fog, or no?
I don't think so off the top of my head.
Not at the moment.
How many webs do we have?
That's a good question.
We have. I can account for 3.
If you cast web, will it create a big sticky web on the floor, even if it's not like binding whatever? Does it create a sticky space, or does it just like have to go on the thing like a net?
I'm going to.
sorry,
tell me your thought first, and then I will follow up on that.
Well, the description is quite clear. It fills a volume of 10 by 10 by 20. And so I could envision a world. I was just going to suggest that if this was like, I won't say 5th edition, but
how dare you, sir?
It seems like the perfect opportunity for something like taking like a couple of turns to cast the spell, so that it could have like a more specialized application or something.
Well, I was going to say, if it just acts as a big sticky web, we can deny an area if we find and there's something coming. Okay, web that right now and like just block it off in time. We could do it preemptively. We never do that, but like, why do we need to wait until something's on top of us?
I see no reason to wait other than the.
Well, there might be too many of those gaps to like web.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm just saying this
very
is
large area.
I'm just proposing this is an option that Perderi you could have ready in case you're like, hey, deny that area now, or like close that off behind us, or I don't know, something like that.
That makes sense.
It lasts 8 hours, so yeah.
Speaking of the dark crevices, we could at least peek in there, and despite the fog, we could at least see if there's anything right there, because
yeah, you can.
They might
Get
not,
on in there.
They might. I don't want to crawl in there. I'm just
Clear that whole gump.
Okay, but I have a question.
Shoot.
Inquire.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's
someone in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
You need a moment?
Speaking of specialized applications of web, could I cast web and then we spend some time like sticking up and gumming up like the bottoms of our footwear so we can move around in here?
I'm going to say no, not unless you spend some time and energy researching a spell derived from web. Because you'll under your current circumstances, one of two things will happen. One of two things will happen. Either it won't work, in which case you will not gain benefit from like the stickiness, or it will work, and now your shoes are adhered to the floor.
No. Magnus just got an idea for a new spell.
So I don't want to.
Cool spell though.
I don't want to just like demand special treatment or anything, but the kobolds do have like bare feet that have claws on them. I don't know if that matters.
You will get the benefit. You'll
be a little cave adapted.
I know, but here's basically, as I mentioned, they already have. I will count this as a device, which you get your kobold. Wait, no, we haven't actually implemented.
My Chihuahua has clawed feet, and it clatters all over the place, and it fell 5 times today. So I don't buy it.
Okay.
I have hardwood, and
you'll get the benefit of like the leather equivalent armor save bonus to your saving throw here.
Okay.
Which is the same thing that Perderi is spinning up, but for free because of your magical feats.
Okay. And with that aside, so to be clear, someone does speak their language?
Yes, Magnus does.
Yeah.
He speaks
the
lizard.
Yes, you first.
He speaks the lizard tongue, is what I'm saying.
Well then, through all of their like chittering to one another, where they thought that you couldn't understand, They haven't like revealed everything, but they definitely were not sent here by Zovnu. Like Zovnu was involved. They have met Zovnu. Zovnu is probably doing fine, but he's not their boss. There's somebody else. They haven't said anything to the. They haven't said anything of the sort of like backstabbing you guys. It seems more that they're worried they're going to offend you.
Magnus will keep this information to himself.
Anyway, you wanted to peek into the holes.
Yes.
I can tell. So you examine the holes. The holes are myriad. The holes are narrow. The holes are largely empty. As you advance along the wall, I get the impression you guys are following the wall. Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, that's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
with a standoff.
Cool.
And I have a question about these holes, real quick.
Inquire.
Are they reminiscent of the openings that we saw out in the overworld in the Ice Tide or whatever? You remember where the memorials were and the.
Oh yes, I understand what you mean. No,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why. Because the kobolds peering in can see that most of these are just irregularities. These are just irregularities in the stone. The walls are porous, but they don't go anywhere. They just lead in a bit, then narrow, and then stop.
So like more like erosion than.
Yeah, erosion. Possibly things have been using them as burrows. They find a few discarded egg cases in places. A lot of rat skeletons. It's possible that at some point in the future, a conveniently rolled random encounter will cause a tide of horrible rats to erupt out of the walls upon you, but for the moment, they don't seem to be entangled in any larger scheme.
That happened once.
That did happen once.
All right.
So,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
So yeah, then I guess we'll progress along the wall, seeing what we may see.
Right. Well, the kobolds will, as they promised, take point and basically just kind of like sneak up on each one and just kind of like peek around the sides, trying to look cooler than they really are. Just like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm aggressive and helpful. Like, haha.
And Perderi is not cruel. He does say like, if you sense that there might be danger, by all means, come back and like don't put yourself at risk.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So, you proceed for about 30 minutes. So it is now about 12:30, and you reach as you go along the wall, and you reach a intersection of sorts. The right wall opens up into a large cavern, which has a different character to it than the rest of it. It looks like it has been intentionally dug, and it is still, of course, quite wide compared to the rest of the cavern. Sorry, it's still quite wide by your usual standards, being almost 80 feet across, but it's not quite as tremendous and cavernous as the rest of the space around you.
Cozy.
Do we wish to explore this, or do we wish to web and keep going?
Oh, another important thing. There's light down here.
Okay.
Like, let me make appropriate markings. But like,
Where's it coming from?
There appear to be luminous stones engraved into the walls of the cavern.
Does the fog seem to recede through this tunnel?
Yes.
Or is it still kind of present?
The air coming from this tunnel is colder than the air behind you, around you.
Do the placement of the stones seem to have a pattern, or do they look like natural, or supernatural geomorphs?
They have a pattern. The floor here, the lights reoccur at a steady pattern. You can't roughly. Each one is bow shot from the one behind it. The floor here has been marked with sand, and there are footprints on the sand.
I like elbow Magnus, and I'm like, this looks like some kind of sorcerous trickery.
You think so?
Glowing rocks. Perdiri, what do you think about maybe one of us, like, I don't know, setting the trap off, if there is one?
Setting the trap off?
Via an
I mean,
arrow
are
or
there
a stone.
ways that we can safely navigate this without risking life?
There are no such things as truly safe methods of navigating this place. All you can do is propose theories, and I can tell you. Okay, take a close look at the footprints. The footprints are sort of human-shaped, smaller. There are sometimes you find an occasional blood spatter near one of the footprints. That's a little alarming. But for the most part, they are humanoid footprints. They are smaller than human footprints. They are consistent with goblins. They're not too wide and too short to be kobolds.
Wait, so they look like pads, or did they look like
They look like shoes.
They look like somebody's wearing shoes.
Yeah.
Did the goblins wear shoes?
Yeah, goblins wear shoes.
Oh,
sometimes.
Okay. I believe you. I just didn't think about that. I don't know. Okay, so all right. So the thing is that, like, I doubt the goblins put this here, so we need to traverse this, in my opinion, unless this whole thing is a death trap. It wouldn't be too terrible of an idea, in my opinion, for, like, we have a bunch of people. I'll volunteer. Norbert will volunteer to take 2 people in, go halfway, rope us, and see if we get cut off. And we should give one of these things a good poke, just so we're not doing something utterly stupid. That's my thought. Like, literally just poke it with... Does anybody have a pole?
I do not
When
have...
you say it, you mean the light sources?
Yeah, like one of these stones. Like, the stones don't... I mean, they've been unnaturally placed, so something's going on here.
What is the shape of the stones? Is this is it recessed? Is it in the floor? Where is?
Normally, it would be kind of hard to answer this question with confidence, given that it's about like 60, 70 feet apart, but it is glowing fairly brightly, so you can get some useful information out of that. The stones have apparently been hammered into the stone around them. It looks like there was a space cut for them, and then they were cemented in place by some kind of, like old Albionese cement, like from the age of Arthur.
Yeah, so this is one of these cruel tricks of these things down here, so we need to test one of these stones, and then if we're going to try to overcome this puzzle, we shouldn't all just go in and die all at once. We should, I don't know, that's my proposal.
Put it in their mouth?
Does somebody have a
The
pole?
kobolds looked ready to just run in, but seeing how worried you guys are, they're like, okay, these guys must know what they're talking about.
I mean, Magnus is not worried.
I take a ladder and I poke a stone. And I get away from the group.
Wait, are we?
You guys have ladders?
I have a ladder.
Are we actually that far in? I thought we were avoiding, like, entering the tunnel yet.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually,
you're at the verge of the tunnel.
I kind of like one of the kobolds named Molo. He just leans in and kind of peeks upwards to look for murder holes.
You lean in, you peek upwards, you use your koboldy eyes, and you can say with some confidence that there do not appear to be murder holes in the ceiling.
Okay, that's a good sign.
In fact, that's another thing. Most of the rest of the dungeon, the walls are porous and have a lot of hidey holes. This one doesn't. These walls have...
If it's a death trap, it must be magical in nature, because I don't see any avenues to attack from. It's just a corridor.
Magnus can just fly us across if we can identify the hazard.
Can you do that?
I can't do that, actually.
Oh, there's too many of us.
I can cast. I can cast find. Yeah, if we feel there's a trap, I can cast find traps.
But no fly.
You wish to invoke the magical power of the light to reveal hazards and dangers in your path? Invoke the miracle. Let all which is inhospitable be revealed by the infinite power of the light and its omniscience. What stands before you, you sense no danger.
Nice.
This is a place of welcome.
Well, that's foreboding.
Is it?
Anything that's welcoming me down here is...
Welcome might be overselling it, but it's not a place of stabbing you.
All right. Cool. Pretty rocks.
Well, let's quickly proceed then before Father Blumbed's prayer wanes.
Since it's one-dimensional, do you guys want to go at running speed?
No.
I'm not sure if I understand the trade-off of that. I figure we just kind of like creep forwards so that we don't approach the bend in it with too much noise.
We can't surprise a monster, and we can't map if we run.
We could surprise him. Yeah, we can't, or we cannot not be surprised.
Yeah, running to people can be pretty surprising.
Let's canter.
All right, sure. Fly casual.
Okay. So thanks to the incredible magic of original Dungeons & Dragons, even a dead run is pretty slow. But let's see how far you get. Do you guys just want to proceed down the hallway until something weird happens?
Well, we proceed to the bend in it to see if something else is going on there. We just kind of peek around the side real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, at least we have more information. Maybe not until something weird happens, but when we have more information.
Okay.
The kobolds seem interested in proving their bravery, perhaps, because they're again happy to peek around the corner first. Oh, then there's another corner. We peek around that one too.
Is that an alcove or is that a split?
That is an alcove.
Okay. Question: is this looking more like a mine tunnel or is it just a tunnel?
It reminds you of the gut. This feels like a. So, which of you has been in the gut? Like in character, out of character. Norbert has. Magnus has. And Father Blumbad has. This reminds you a lot of the gut. This feels like a deep, straightforward underground passage designed to cover a lot of ground in a hurry. Except for this one part here where it looks like it intersected an existing cavern which got repurposed as a tool to extend it.
The existing cavern part is to the right or the left?
Sorry, I'll draw a little circle around the existing cavern. So basically, like, there is a small, like, existing natural cavern, which this
so like this whole thing is a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, except... Okay. No, hang on. But if you go far...
I will peek around.
If you go farther in, and I can find this, if I can successfully grab your icon without intersecting the rest of it, you can see that it proceeds onward, and the passage continues in this way for some time. Once you get close, you can see that the light sources are stones which glow from within, like they contain a chthonic fire. Very unlike the radiance cast by Father Blumbad's magic, which glows with a sunly light. This is an earthly light, very different in flavor, but also a similar sense of welling magic of illumination.
Interesting. Perhaps on the way back we can dig out one or two for some use or another.
That weird man over at the edge of the water might give us some more money.
Do we still see footprints?
Intermittently, yeah. This is a large sand. The floor here is sandy, strewn with sand. You find evidence of wagon tracks and small humanoid footprints. Sometimes large, sometimes human-sized footprints, but mostly small.
Unless anyone wants to do anything here, we continue.
It sounds like this is actually a main avenue, a line of communication here underground. So it must lead to like a big nexus of some kind. Which way do the majority of the tracks kind of begin to concentrate? To the east or to the west?
To the east.
That's what we're here for, isn't it? Like, let's figure out where this stuff is and let's do it. I don't know.
Are we in a cul-de-sac? We're in a nexus. Is that right?
We're on more of a road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a one-dimensional road, but it's. Hang on a second. Let me draw the line in a more legible way.
A road with a pull-off.
Yeah, a road with a pull-off. That's a good way to describe it. But like the road goes da 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 Da, 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 da.
Do the tracks diverge and there's a main route, a main artery, but is there a branch that we don't want to overlook or miss?
Looking for a hidden cavern, a hidden route.
None.
Right.
Obvious. Do you want to take a little time? Do you want to spend some time searching the area? None is immediately obvious. But
What do you
can
say, Pruderi?
Are any opposed?
Well, we would lose the advantage of
I am.
my 20 minutes of blind traps if
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
someone
stop.
might just happen
Okay, so
upon
yeah,
us.
while the
This looks like
magic
it's
is
pretty well
active,
traveled.
then yeah, we should probably
We
take
should
that to our
probably keep going
advantage.
forwards.
On
We
the way
can-
back, we can probably poke around.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. You follow a long way down the corridor.
I wish we had a ranger. But are the tracks kind of going both ways, or more of them going one way than
Both
another?
ways.
Kind of
Both
have to be
ways?
both ways.
Yeah. Things that go in one direction often have to go the other direction eventually as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, that
unless
was
it's like
needlessly sassy of me. But let me go ahead and
it's
try
like a
something.
one-way road, but there's not enough traffic for that.
Okay. So what are the? I have to do something slightly clever here. 1750 by 1750.
Are we hitting the edge of the map?
We are, but I prepared a
this
little
is in
more than
fact
I
the
did
edge-
last time. Okay.
It's not so well traveled that they would have had like a stall hawking goods on the way.
Little like a pop-up flea market kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Little market thing selling tamales or something.
Or something such.
Yeah, food on a
Random
stick.
tangent.
I want food on a stick.
Well, Richard's moving us through. We used to have a tent, kind of like pop-up produce stand right down the road from me, and someone was like, I'm gonna build a hard stand, like cinder block building, and take over, and people still went to the tent one. Business fell through.
It matters.
Well,
Okay.
a tent's a vibe. Plus, I'm sure the quality of the product is more important than the presentation in that regard.
Also true. All right, so we're going to be doing partially theater of the mind, but if we do need to bust out a map, I have tools for that. But for the moment, a couple of these real quick.
What numbers getting rolled?
I'm doing numbers. As you go down the path, the pathway slopes slightly downwards. It's a long way. You feel fortunate that you have a source of continuous light, because by now your torches would have burned out some time ago. The path before you is no longer misty. Now you can see the full length of your lantern, and farther still besides. The only thing that limits your sight is the occasional bend in the passageway, which constricts your line of sight. All of you. The character of the light is strongly colored, a pale, almost ghostly green. Then in the distance, after almost a mile and a half of trekking through this underground corridor, you see movement in the distance, fluttering and small, clinging to the ceiling. And then it rushes at you, dangerous and assertful. Creatures the size of bats, but with long proboscis, the size of daggers and darts, fluttering towards you, casting eerie shadows and casting shadows across every surface as they interpose themselves between one light source and the next.
We
Neither
react?
of you can. Neither of you are surprised. The encounter takes place at a reach of 120 feet. Let me throw down. Go to the correct. Let me copy paste all your tokens and then drop in the correct map.
This is it.
That's right. Adventure is happening finally.
Are these creatures that any of us recognize, or no?
Yes, at once
We've seen these, yeah.
You've seen these.
The whole thing's been an adventure, but now it's a battle.
Okay, now where is?
You get a general number of how many there are.
Yes, in a moment. Probably 9. DC 9.
Oh boy.
Let me adjust the character of the light here. Dynamic lighting. I'll come back to that later. Alright, somewhere in here I have a Sturge.
One of my
we are.
favorite monsters.
Awful little things. Usually the worst
As
idea
an
that
DM.
anyone's...
I've been using ghoul sturges in my campaign, so they
Oh,
paralyze
God.
the
Oh,
pigs that are
God.
undead.
That's
So
cruel. I love it.
the
That's
Manchkins that heard them, heard the fluttering, leathering wings. She can't sleep, and it slept the front party members because this ghoul
Oh.
surges were undead. It was great.
Oh, God.
That's great. I'm gonna steal that.
As if, like, giant leathery mosquitoes wasn't bad enough already.
Well, they're from, I think Moldvay created them, actually. Or Len Kafka, one of the two.
Ugh.
Alright. My layer. AJ, as caller, it falls upon you to roll initiative. You want to roll high.
I did not.
You don't roll high. All right.
Question. My kobolds have a hit die. Should I roll that, or do they get max because it's kind of their max?
I'm
it's
giving
kind
you,
of the first level?
you get max.
Okay.
We'll come back to...
now instead of dying in one hit, they'll die in one hit.
Yes, there is also that. Everyone take a moment to establish your marching order, if you could.
Don't forget to move the party, Richard.
Oh, right. Hang on a second. Let me... Thank you very much for reminding me.
Yep.
Well, the cavern's big enough that we're kind of more line abreast, I assume.
Probably so. Let's see. Who is in first rank and who is in second rank of your PCs?
I'm in the third rank, if possible.
Yeah, that is the third rank. There's a third rank. I should have mentioned that.
Perderi would be first rank.
Okay. Ulfkel, first or second?
First.
All right. Norbert, first or second?
Me and my 2 hirelings would be second if possible. If you need somebody in the first, one of the chain will go up.
Alrighty. Go ahead. Which one are your hirelings again? Naum and Frangog?
Those are the ones I handed to him. but
Frangog and Naum.
Okay. Can't try any more. And the wizards go into 6th rank. Niesel and Pasling, first or second rank?
Niesel is first, Pasling is second. So Niesel would be kind of right beside Perderi.
Alrighty. I'm going to assume that the kobolds go back with the wizards.
Yeah. I think
do
they would have like.
bows?
Yeah, they should have. It says they got. It says their attacks are 1d6, so that means short bows.
All bows do d6. It's just a matter of range.
Well, I meant short bows. I meant short bows as opposed to slings, which are 1d4.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So, my guys go first.
Like would have. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. For the movement phase, who is doing missile fire?
Me.
Okay. Roll 4 missile attacks.
Well,
Who else is doing missile fire?
I'd like to declare
spells
magic.
first.
Yeah, we
Oh,
declare
yes.
spells. I'd like to declare magic missile.
Okay.
I'm going to declare a snake for my first magic user.
My
Okay.
microphone's getting wonky.
We'll jiggle the cable.
Ailing will declare sleep.
Okay.
Onan will... Oh yeah, sorry. Onan will do missile fire.
Alright. The AC of a Sturge is 12. So the odds of hitting are pretty decent. That's 2 from Ross.
6
and-
hits.
Okay, 6 hits.
Whoops, I actually rolled d10s instead of 20s. Sorry.
6
Force of habit from our other campaign.
Okay. Okay. AC is 12. Roll your missile attacks. I would trust you to, and if you hit, roll damage. And then just tell me how many times you hit.
AC is 12. Oof, I rolled like shit. Okay, here we go.
Pasling will do missiles as well.
Looks like I got one hit that did 4 damage.
All right.
Ulfkill got a hit with 5 damage.
All right. Ulfkill takes one out immediately.
And we
Blumbad
can
hit
shoot
one.
twice, right?
Yes.
Okay, miss. That's a miss.
Okay. At some point, I want to switch over to the thing where you get their first attack at the beginning of the round, and the next attack, the remaining attacks at the end of the round. But that's too complicated to do in the middle of this.
Pasling hit 1 for 5.
All right. That's a kill.
I think I wasted some spells.
Come on. Kill. Okay. So that's a hit for 4, a hit for 5, a hit for 5. Anything else?
1 hit for 11, 1 hit for 8, and 1 hit for 5. These are actually
How-
2. So there's 6 hits, and 2. They're firing at 1 target each.
Gotcha. So 11, 11, and 5.
11, 8, and 5.
Okay.
Can Dobby sling from where he's at?
Yes.
He could be near the front. I mean, he's
You can
pretty
sling.
stout.
These guys are coming in for an approach.
Okay. It's 13. Is that hit?
Yes, AC is 12.
Are
And that will also. Wow, you guys are tearing these things apart.
Yeah, damn.
Are we supposed to be able to see our characters? I only see the Sturges.
Kind of way to
you've
the
got-
left.
Yeah, you're over here.
Oh, I was way over to the right, zoomed in. Okay.
That was the default.
Okay. So the Sturges approach, flapping menacingly, hungry for blood, and are promptly torn to shreds in a hail of missile fire. Their carcasses spattering to the ground below, like rats sprinkled merrily by some grotesque and grand guignol. Unfortunately, some do close to melee, and they are very hungry. One will attack Ulfkel. It will roll a 1d20 plus 1. The one attacking Ulfkel misses. Next, the one attacking Father Bloombad misses or fails to penetrate his armor. Next, one attacking Praderi utterly fails to penetrate his armor. Now, those who are within hand-to-hand combat range of a Sturge may beat that Sturge senseless and to death. So at this time, I believe that is if you have a little guy who is within hand-to-hand combat range of the Sturge, roll an attack, AC 12.
Are they 1 hit die?
They are 1 hit die. They are 1 hit die plus 1, but I'm going to rule that counts. It's still 1 hit die. You just get a bonus hit point.
There we go. Wow, heck of a crit.
It sounds like this is a short fight.
10 damage on this one and 5 damage, or I'm sorry, 8 damage on this one and 4 damage on the center one.
All right, so one of them was
2 incredibly powerful spells fizzle into nothingness.
it's extremely tragic.
Ulfkill got 2 damage on the one he's engaged with.
All right. Well, actually, I think that is the sole survivor. Okay, hang on a second. Bloombad misses.
Oh, there's one left?
I think so. Praderi, how much damage did you do to this one?
I only did 2 damage with a crit.
Okay. Crits aren't real, my friend. That's heresy from some latter edition. And how much damage was done to this one? This was the one that took 10? Sorry, I have to mark it.
I did 4 to that one.
Alright. Did anyone else do damage to that one? And someone did 10 to this one up top, right?
I did 8 to this one up top.
Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
that one is-
forgetting,
that one is gone.
Nisel is 2nd rank with a spear. I totally forgot about him.
He's right here. Take that shot, my man.
-1 from the attack on this. So
Okay.
it's another 2 damage.
All right. This one's a 2, this one's 2, so this one's gone. All right. So we're going to do a quick, this will be, Praderi, roll initiative. If you beat this thing,
Hold
this thing
on.
in initiative, this thing
It's
should be
hit.
good. Oh, right.
It's hit for
Right, spells.
8 damage from magic missiles.
Have you ever? So you guys have never seen a water balloon in your characters' lives. It's just not a thing you guys have a frame of reference for. But all of you were children once. All of you remember that moment of shocked delight when when you first got to see a water balloon pop. And your characters are experiencing that joy today, now, in the form of a Sturge popping like a zit.
Perderi
No,
being
not
the
like
one
a
right
zit,
in front
like
of it.
splashes
is
all
not
ordinary
over
water
us.
balloon.
Those are two very different things.
That's true. I need to.
He just ate
keep my
lunch.
metaphors straight.
That gives me an idea, actually.
Oh no!
Yes, you can make soup out of these.
We could make some sturge soup, but and also the kobolds and the goblins might enjoy monster food, but gosh, free food for the goblins. We've got a whole economy set up here now. But I wonder if with an alembic and dark powers, the necromancer on the shoreline, if we could take the blood sac from the receiving end of the proboscis, if he could identify the ecology down here that these things are eating on.
Now this man is just pandering to my desire to belch forth information to the players.
Magnus
He's
just
indulging
stares at Norbert for a long, long time.
Also,
Norbert,
didn't someone
Norbert,
take...
you must come to the tower. Pay me a visit sometime. It'd be interesting to
All
have
right,
a
you guys now have
conversation
9
with
hit dice of Sturges. Someone write that down on your character sheet. You guys, one of the wizards puts them in a big bag, and you have them now.
Yeah.
Someone write that down that you have the Sturges.
I'll write
This
it down.
encounter is complete. Thank you. Where's the more upbeat music again?
Yes, it's so upbeat. Yes. It's a jaunty tune.
John. Okay. After a while, specifically, the time is now, well, it's gotten late. You're not sure how late it is. You don't have any
Kobolds
good-
at least were like a combination of awed, terrified, and just kind of hooting and hollering that the horrible things that were going to stab them are now dead.
Yes, it's well done. Okay, and you guys are in this cave.
I'll mutter under my breath in Draconic, Serpentine.
I'm just saying draconic myself. I don't know what
This
the right
is-
Oh no, you're going to reveal the secret.
Yeah, well, because I don't want, it's a PC, so I don't want to drag it out. But yes, you'll hear me mutter under my breath. But next to you, and clearly within your hearing, a small display of my power.
These goofballs. Love these guys.
One of them does a brief double take as they realize that you speak the language, but they just kind of nod.
Okay, so from
that
here,
one Zops, who was their speaker before.
I'm going to transition to theater of the mind a bit. So let me know what you need to know. I will do my best to communicate the environs in detail, but what's going to come is much more about social relations than spatial relations, so hopefully it shouldn't be a tremendous problem. A wide set of stone stairs gradually eases you down to a large cave bordered by a stream, perhaps some 60 feet across. The roof arches 18 feet above the cave floor. Across the stream, a 12-foot high cliff face rises into darkness. Everywhere, debris is scattered as though you'd walked into a midden. The combined trash bin of a blacksmith and a kitchen and a tailor and every other craft that springs to mind is littered about your feet. With every step you take, something old and forgotten crunches underfoot, and those of you who are barefoot, like the kobolds, must mind your footing with some caution. There are 2 exits from this room in addition to the shallow stairway which led you in. To your left, there is a door to the left nearby, which...
Just like in the cavern wall, a door.
Yes, actually, hang on a moment. I can just take a quick screenshot here. Let me see if this works. I'm gonna test something real quick. Ba-ba-ba. No, that does not work. It would be so convenient if that worked, but it doesn't. I'll have to post it elsewhere. Turn your gaze briefly to the Otherworld Adventures. Okay. To your east, you can see a passage, and to your right, you see a passage. Both of these are sealed with a door. The door to the left is sturdy and is made of sturdy fungal wood. The door to the right is made of iron, with a large brass knocker placed squarely in the center of the door. There are words engraved above the knocker, but none of you can read them. They are in a language unknown to you, neither in the runes of Draconic, nor in the demonic tongue of Drunic, nor in the language of men.
Doesn't
On this map, is the stairs? Is that one of the doors?
You came out through the stairs, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't somebody have a scroll of read languages? Am I getting that mixed
No.
up? Okay.
I know the spell, but I almost never use it.
Yeah, you don't have it like memorized, right?
No.
Immediately my thought is like, where is this stuff washing in from? Does it look like, so if you look into the water past the shore, does it look like there's debris in the water and there's no holes in the ceiling?
Excellent questions, and I believe I have answers to them. Okay. Ask that question one more time. The thing after about the water. The water seems mostly clear. It does not appear that trash is running in from upstream. Rather, it's being diverted downstream.
Okay. Yeah, my intention is to try to discern where all this trash is coming from. So if there's holes or cracks in the ceiling, or if it looks like it's washing in from the shore and I can actually see stuff in the water.
Okay. It does not appear to be, there are no holes or cracks in the ceiling, which you can see. It appears to be a sturdy-ish limestone.
Right.
And there is, in addition to that, what else is there? So there's the sturdy limestone ceiling, no cracks in it. Upstream is clearer than downstream. And you cannot see on top of the cliff face.
Oh,
So-
upstream is clear, meaning that it's not being meaning that it's not being deposited here. It's washing from here. Like here is where it's being placed.
Yes.
And washed down. Okay.
Yes. So it starts here where you are, and then gets washed into the river to the east.
Okay, it's washing in here. Okay.
No, it's washing out of here. Where it's coming from is not yet clear.
If it's washing out of here, it's becoming like it's being deposited here.
But
Yeah,
it's
someone
coming from the water.
No, it's going to the water. It's not coming from the water. Upstream is clear. Downstream,
Okay.
not clear.
At first you said something that made it seem the other way around, but yeah, I get it now.
Okay, so it's
Yes.
not the water, it's on the ceiling. Where is the trash on one of the two pathways?
Sorry, say again?
So there's a pathway to the left and to the right, so the only other two options for the trash to get in here, other than teleportation, which is a real option, as we've seen, is got to either be in the left pathway or the right pathway. Those are the only ways,
Correct.
or the stairs.
Yes. Those seem like the most likely options. And the stairs are where you came from, and that's not where that place was not festooned in trash.
Which
So
place
presumably-
has trash? Which of the pathways has trash?
Most of it is by the big iron door to your right.
I guess the door's opening and they just shove it out. Maybe. Well, that's one option.
That does seem consistent with your vision. Like, there's nothing you see here which contradicts the thesis that someone is opening the door, throwing out a big bag of trash, and closing the door again.
And it's just totally random village middens, like broken
Random dog
pots
shit.
and random Yes, okay.
Yes.
We're poking it with our spears, looking if there's anything weird.
Well, there's a lot of weird stuff, but none of the sort that will bite you. It's
Okay.
just... you know.
Perderi, what do you think? What do we think? What are we gonna do?
So we're coming from the stairs, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me just a moment. Attempting to do this with pure theater of the mind is not a great plan, and I can, in just a few moments, make this much better. Let me go ahead and actually do that.
So, I mean, the direction of the refuse seems like the direction of whatever other denizens are down here. Do we wish to approach that, or do we want to explore the cleaner path, perhaps?
Can any of the kobolds speak Goblin? It makes sense that they might, somebody, because they've had dealings with them.
Yes, roll a d20. A saving throw.
All right. 20.
Yeah, actually. 2 of you speak Goblin.
This might be our chance then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we will head towards the refuse, towards the potential...
To be clear, though, this will be the first time you've spoken, like, conversational Goblin with a Goblin. You've studied Goblin. It's a little
Back
riskier.
at Kobold University. I think
Yeah.
the mushroom... Isn't the mushroom door the... don't they use mushroom structures, the goblins?
Yes.
Yes. That is true.
Is this iron door rusty?
1 sec.
That's a very good question.
There would be a little bit of back and forth as you determine that the kobolds speak goblins, and they're all flabbergasted that you don't speak goblins. I thought they were goblin.
What would be the, like, a Karingrish or Spanglish? What would it be like? Coblin? Coblin! Coblin! But it's good enough. It's fine.
Yo Tango La Booyah? La Booyag?
Okay. So, you have the mushroom door, you have the iron door, you have the cliff face, you have water rushing from upstream, you have water going downstream.
Okay, I see the door now.
Yes.
Okay,
to,
yeah, I mistook the...
I have the map, but the issue is it does... I have not yet uploaded it wholly to
Gotcha.
Roll20.
So, Father Bloomberg was asking about if the door had rust.
Is the door rusted? No, the iron door is not rusted. It is clearly being maintained by somebody.
Is Find Trap still active at this point, or no?
No, it has
Oh,
been...
no, it's only 20 minutes.
Okay.
Can
Yeah,
we take
it's
a
been a
look
couple-
at... sorry. Can
No,
we take
continue.
a closer look at this detritus? Determine the nature of it? Learn something about...
He said it
is
was random
leaving it?
dog poop, though.
Well, he said your foot doesn't... every step you take, you crumple something, used. Well, what is it? Like, what is...
That's a fair
is this
question.
slag from a furnace? Is it, like, old trinkets that are broken? Or tools? Or
So
empty
here's
food
what-
bags?
Cloth.
Empty food bags, scraps of cloth too far gone for reuse. Anything, no, very little metal, but occasionally you find a sword pommel of worked petrified fungus. You find
Nice.
a broken cup of primitive pottery. You find some twisted copper wire. You find a cracked helmet sized for a creature with a head much smaller than yours.
So it's
You-
not the leavings of like any kind of industrial like an operation or workshop. It's just somebody's house trash, or basically.
A lot of somebody's, it looks like.
Yes.
Gotta be rich to throw away metal.
Maybe the Priest King.
One of the things the people of the underworld often have in surplus is metal.
Okay, that's a good point.
I think Perderi will look for any traps or murder holes around the door. Or if there are any viewports or anything like that anywhere nearby.
A close examination reveals that there is a small, what looks like a small sliding port in the door directly underneath the knocker. Though it looks like it is fairly sturdy. And again, it's quite small, not sized for human proportions.
Okay, but it doesn't look like obviously trapped or anything like that.
No.
Or would that would take time to determine, or no?
It would take time to determine that with confidence, but at a glance, you do not, for example, see a tripwire leading from it to a crossbow pointed at the door. There is not obviously trapped.
Okay.
Well, that just seems like
You
an
do have a
oversight.
thief. You do. It
We
honestly
do have
does.
a thief.
Yes. Well, Leofston is happy to prove his talent in matters regarding the subtle handcraft. If you wish him to ply his trade.
Is there any visible lock on this side, or is it like it's all on the other side?
There is no visible lock on this side. In fact, there is no visible knob or means by which to open the door.
Okay, so very defensible door.
Understood.
Okay. So, do we want to knock then, or do we want to try to force it open? Are we trying to be civil here? Is that the consensus?
Oh, what were people saying about trying to talk to goblins? Did you want to explore the fungal door and see if they can tell us what's beyond the iron door and where the priest king might be? Or
Oh, is there a fungal door as well? I missed that.
it's the one on the left.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a good question. Which door do we want to go through? Metal or fungal?
Are we want to get some intel before we? Because I'm thinking the iron door would be the way to go, but I'm not interested in goblins. I want to go straight to the boss.
If we have to blast it down, I would rather check out the other door first if it's easier to open.
Okay.
Just to see, and then
Okay. Do you want to explore the eastern door?
the western door.
Western?
I think, right?
Yes. Sorry.
The left. Yes.
That one. I never get north and south mixed up, but I get west and east mixed up continuously.
I have to go all the way around to get to west in my head.
News.
I can't just go left to west.
Anyway.
Yeah, we'll go over to that. Yeah.
Okay. The door stands before you. It is a fairly primitive construction, but looks sturdy. There is no obvious mechanism by which it might be locked. It's currently shut, firmly shut. There is a small stone handle embedded firmly into the surface, at a height convenient for kobolds and a bit of a stoop for a man. Do you open it?
Not without checking it.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Have we found treasure yet?
We walked over
Not
to
yet.
the western door.
Man,
You found some copper wire.
y'all, I got goats to feed. We gotta find some treasure.
Goats will definitely eat that copper wire.
Probably shouldn't.
That's true. If
All
I
right,
were, go ahead.
Yeah, can we get Leifsten to
Sure.
check?
I'm gonna roll this secretly real quick. We're using the power of physical dice, as I was so sassing earlier, because rolling anything secretly in Roll20 is a pain.
While he's
Okay.
checking, do we hear any like sounds coming from the other side of the door?
From the other side of the wooden door?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Anything other than lapping water?
Okay. The lapping water. Occasionally. No, it's the lapping water, and that's it. The water masks could be masking a lot of subtler sounds. It's a little, almost noisy in here, especially by the standards of like the Underdark that you've been wandering around in. Let's see. He is confident that there are no traps. He's so confident, in fact, that he will open the door to prove to you. Yes. Behold, says Austin, the valor of a Southerner. And he opens the door, and he is not killed, as nothing happens at all, other than the revelation of a longer, winding, vaguely downward passage.
Is this also lit?
No, it is not.
Right.
Nor is it marked with footprints.
Why are they bringing stuff up? That's weird.
It's not marked with footprints.
Interesting.
Sorry, I spoke poorly.
And there's no trash.
And there's no trash. It's untraveled.
Would there be?
Why have a door if it's untraveled?
Oh, lots of reasons.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it's a trap.
It could be a trap.
What's the ground like?
The
in that
ground
tunnel?
here in that tunnel is unworked stone. There is occasionally, there is some garbage there occasionally as you peer down. Light sources aloft. The passageway winds down and gradually steepens until it winds out of sight. It's clear to you that this is not so much a pathway as perhaps a chute.
A garbage chute?
Perhaps so.
Well, if it's a garbage chute, they're not using it.
Well, this place could be much filthier than it is. It's possible that intermittently people go in to sort of shovel it all the way out.
Yeah, and who knows what resides in the filth.
Okay, well, let me. So, are there any marks? You say it's unworked stone, but is there filth here, or is it just like dry detritus?
It's dry detritus.
Okay, so it's not where they shovel their poop or whatever, like their old food scraps or anything.
There's a little bit of offal, but
Okay.
there's.
Well, the reason I ask is because you mentioned the word shovel, and so I wonder, are there any marks, like, to prove that? Like, is there a trail of offal, for example, old dried, crusty, whatever, going down that chute?
The keen-sensed among you peruse the matter for a while. Lanterns held aloft, considering and saying, "No, yeah, that looks like that could be true. There's some marks here. It's not absolute proof,
Yeah.
but the evidence here is consistent with that hypothesis."
Okay, then
Though
let's
they probably
not
don't
go
use that
down the
exact
chute.
phrasing.
Yeah, let's not go down the chute then. I would.
Yeah.
I would submit.
Yeah, it's just a
I
silly
don't want to
waiting
meet.
to-
I don't want
Doesn't
to
seem
meet.
promising.
Yeah, I don't want to meet whatever lives down there. Not by that route.
There's always
get
something that lives down
swept
there, and you
down
never
there.
want to meet it.
If it's that kind of cleared, then that makes me wonder if there's not any way to, like, not necessarily like floor falling out kind of thing, but like, does it get flushed?
You don't see any evidence of a mechanism that would permit a flushing of that sort.
Suddenly a
Although-
water weird appears. Oh no.
That would be such a mechanism, and none is attacking you just yet.
Okay, so I guess we're going back to the metal door, and
Okay.
are we knocking? Or are we knocking it down?
Okay, metal door, iron, sturdy, brass knocker, slot, no visible traps.
Do this may be a chance for our kobold compatriots?
Oh, right, you guys read Goblin. Okay, so in Goblin,
Yep.
the phrasing atop the knocker says, "Strike thrice to enter."
All right. It says here you knock 3 times and then they just open, or rather, they'll open this thing and they point to the little eye plate that will naturally slide open and have a goblin snark at us. No,
I apologize. This is on the mushroom door.
No,
This
this is
is
the
a
metal door.
western door, the iron door.
Eastern.
Eastern.
Yes, the
yeah,
eastern. God, I'm sorry.
Eastern.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I thought the western door was the mid one, and then
The
the
one that way.
This door's
The
very intriguing, but doesn't it seem like maybe we shouldn't do this right now? Because it sounds like we have to descend down into like a place that's going to end up having a trash monster.
No,
No.
Trash
the
monster is that way. Iron door
left
is that.
side. Yeah.
the trash monster is the western one.
We're
we were
assuming
just
there's a
investigating.
trash monster. We
It
don't
might be
want.
nothing. It might be literally nothing. Maybe we
We-
go in there. There's just treasure. There's just a treasure.
Okay, so the downward slope. This whole time I thought we went through the iron door. So the western door is
We
the
haven't-
mushroom door. We open it and
haven't
it goes
gone
down. And it's
through-
trash chute.
We
It goes
haven't
up.
gone-
It winds upward.
That's helpful too, because I thought I heard
No.
it. I thought I heard
I thought
Richard
it
say
ra-
it goes
Yeah,
down.
it goes down. The
Okay.
western
Yeah, I thought
the
it
western
went
door
down
is the
also.
mushroom door.
Hang
that
on a
goes
second. I'm
north.
going to write all this down real quick. Okay.
And
It's okay.
Western door.
So I just want to make sure this thing that goes down that we thought was a trash chute, it's on the west and it's the mushroom door.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry to make things even more confused, but just to be clear, the staircase is how we got here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not that confused. I promise. Okay, I promise. Oh, I mean, actually, I'm
Write
gonna
it
find out.
down.
I'm more confused later. But
I wrote down that it has some garbage on the floor. It's unworked stone floor. It winds up out of sight like a garbage chute. So it's
Winds
coming
down.
down.
It
yeah.
goes down.
I remember
Every
that.
time I
although
try to
was on the
work
wrong
with
side.
theater of the mind, I immediately
You're doing
remember why I
fine.
used
You're doing
maps.
fine.
No,
No,
you're fine.
you're
Yeah.
doing fine. This is totally my fault. Like I just.
got it.
Well, okay, well, let's go the other door, right? Like, let's just go the
Okay.
other door. I gotta
Yeah.
get some treasure. I need
Okay.
money for my goats.
Not gonna
So,
think.
does Zox, Batu, Kala, or Molo want to do the knocking?
Well, Zox has been sort of the leader of the group, and I'm just going to say that he's one of the two that knows Goblinese.
Okay.
Just Goblin speak. All right. Kind of looks back at you, and just kind of like looks back at you again, like, okay, here we go. Just gonna knock 3 times. Thump, thump, thump.
Well, door. A little while later, door opens up.
Oh, jeez. Goblin time.
Little goblin behind it. What is the goblin? Let me describe this goblin. Oh, come on, come on. Okay, yes. Now the goblin is wearing armor. Sturdy ring armor. And he's got on his hip a shield, and on his left hip a morning star. Looks real nasty, slightly rusty. He looks at the kobold, looks past the kobold to the humans, looks past
Whoa.
the humans to, and then looks specifically to Father Bloombad. Sorry, to Father Blumbad. And he sort of leans in to whisper to the kobold and says, "You know you've got one of them, Ruffy, right?"
You mean the sun goblins?
"Yeah." "Oh, the humans, idiot."
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm actually. You first.
Is that guy a cleric of the fucking light?"
Maybe. I didn't ask. Is a cleric of something? Probably.
"I don't think you should come in here, man."
Well, they do have business in here. Actually, can we pause here? What business? Have you actually explained why you want to go into this door specific? Just the fact that it's here.
We want their things.
we want to destroy
We want
the
all their
temple.
things.
Yeah,
We
I
wanna
want to see what's
destroy
inside
And
of their
defeat
stuff.
evil. Of course, that too.
There's just like layers of the goblin. There's just layers here of the kobolds being unprepared for what's being asked of them. This is not what they trained for.
In Draconic, I'm going to say, well, and I'm going to say it like out loud.
Hit me.
No, actually, no, I can't. I can't understand what you all have been saying. So actually, I'm just standing.
Right, we're talking goblin, but you can definitely tell that there is an air of intense awkwardness here.
You probably have a sense of. Here's why you probably have a sense of what's going on. Goblins, at least in my conception of them here, have ridiculous, gigantic chihuahua eyes. So it is really obvious what they are looking at and how they feel about what they are looking at. And what they're looking at is Father Bloombad and the other clerics, and how they feel about that is bad. They don't like that. They think that's bad.
I don't think they like you, Father Bloombad.
I have a feeling
Should
it's
we give
mutual.
them
Let's
reason?
get in there.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
He said the feeling's mutual. Let's get in there.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that Kala is the other kobold who speaks Goblin, who can kind of overhear what's going on and just like, yeah, they're pretty unhappy about you in specific. I don't know if we should offer for you to not go in, or I mean, you probably don't want to not go in.
So now Magnus will take the opportunity to say in Drunic, which is Draconic.
Before we get too far with this, I should clarify that there are, like, this is one sturdy goblin. This is a sturdy goblin wearing good mail, and behind him are more goblins who are regarding you with displeasure.
I'm going to have my guys cast sleep. Is that cool with everybody?
I can't stop you from doing that. So I don't
I
get a
was
vote.
about to ask if we wanted to charm person, so go for it.
Alrighty.
If it's gonna be sleep, then it should all be together.
We're being really nice. We knocked on everything. Okay. Like,
If I just want to remind you, if you cast sleep, the door is still going to be closed.
oh, is
The
it?
door is
closed?
open. No, the door is open right now.
Wait,
He-
the door?
he
I
didn't
thought you
use
meant the
the
little.
viewport.
I thought there was a little.
Yeah, but they
Suggestion
opened
you
the
can see.
door because
Oh.
you knocked 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah. That's how we
I
see
assumed,
how
I
we
assumed
stress.
that was just to open up the little isolate thing.
Yeah,
No, they
not,
opened
not
the
their
whole
greatest
door.
moment.
It's
Alright.
not the.
We're up all
Alright.
asleep.
Is
Well, that's fucking stupid.
is
but
Perderi
I
like
don't say that
close
on
enough to like maybe put his foot in front of the door, or no?
You are in a position to go aggro on this. Give me just a second to get an appropriate map set up.
Yeah, it should be obvious to everyone that the kobolds are not very good at speaking in Goblin. They're trying, like he's trying his best, but he's like struggling to think of an excuse why the goblins would let a bunch of heavily armed humans into their city, and nothing is really coming to mind for him.
Because we said so. Well, actually, we didn't. Actually, we got some things to work on with our goblin diplomacy. I hope we don't end up killing them all. We really need them to work for us.
Oh, don't worry. You won't end up killing them all.
Oh, and then I also hope they don't kill us all. That's also in my hopes.
All right.
About to get all Blood Meridian in here.
God. You guys. All right, hang on a second. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, uploading a smaller version of this area. I have to do a little bit of prep.
De nada.
Thank you.
So we have a.
So while he's trying to stall them, Zox is going to casually ask the goblin what he thinks about various religions down here, like because we're on the subject of clerics, like just trying to feed him some leading lines about what sorts of clerics might be appropriate. And I don't say this part out loud, but like how that ties into our actual job here.
Okay, well, you get as far as, well, obviously the only religion we're okay with here is the High Priest of the One God, and which is when the sleep spells start kicking off. Okay.
Wrong one.
Bom.
Everyone thinks their god's the one god. That doesn't tell me shit.
That's
So true.
Which one? Oh, I went to sleep.
Oh. Just
How many of them
I
are
gotta
there?
set up a camera so you can see the gestures I keep trying to make, but it's just like, wait, which one?
It won't be the right one. Whichever one it is.
But I need to know if it's the right, wrong one.
That's true.
Alrighty. So I am getting everybody lined up, and I have to throw together a bunch of little guys real fast. So Zox is the one in front, and then Kala's the one in back. The others are kind of tucked into the side. And there's Perderi jamming his foot in the door. Then there's Magnus in the back talking to Kala. And then there's Father Bloombad in the back being ominous. Then there's Locken hiding where no one can see him. And there's Ulfkel being up front, being, what's the word he uses to describe himself? Charming, being
Hold
charming.
on. I just want to say Locken is not with me.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Should I be able to see you assembling this? Because I don't.
You are not in the
Okay.
correct room yet.
He's right hand manning for Monacan.
Alrighty.
Because that's not a confusing pairing.
Monacan and Locken. That you don't dare make fun of them to their face.
It's true. The last thing you ever do. Okay.
It's a seedy looking pair. I mean,
Someday
It's
there'll be
not-
BVD. Alright, now I need a bazillion goblins.
a bazillion.
So you said you couldn't fly. How many lightning bolts do you have prepared?
2.
Oh man, I hope we don't kill them all.
You're the one who wanted treasure.
I do want treasure. I mean, not wanting to kill them all is kind of like second in my list of what I want.
I mean, we come back next week, there might be more.
I think it's perfectly coherent to want to, like, steal from them but not kill them. That's not weird.
Yeah, well, mostly because I want to enslave them and turn them into our goblin army.
Oh,
Well, maybe when they fall asleep, there's actually no reason why we have to attack. We could just
That's
say,
my hope.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
look what happened.
Well-
Look what happened by accident. Why did so many of you fall asleep at once?
I mean, they are goblins, but we have tried this approach multiple times now, where we're like, they're goblins, they'll respect force, and then we just kill them all.
Yeah.
That's happened. Well, maybe just one
because
time.
they turned at bay and decided to go all ham instead of cowering.
How
as
dare they?
should have.
Exactly.
it's like Thieves' Honor with a thief who stays bought, except it's like Goblin's Honor with, like, a goblin who stays intimidated.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, guys, you should stay intimidated once I intimidate you.
Okay.
We're all like walking around here all gangster with a bunch of spells and talking about killing a goblin army, and they're gonna have a big goblin or a bunch of big goblins. Like they're gonna have like a ogre, multiple ogres, hobgoblin.
Okay.
Might have some humans with them.
They have some goblin
Everyone who's
royalty.
casting a
It's true, too.
sleep spell, roll to sleep 3 hit die creatures.
3 hit die.
3 hit die?
Oh no!
3 hit die.
That's 3 hit die.
3 hit die.
There's like an N in here or something.
1 + 1 + 1. 3. This many.
Dang it. Where's
3.
that?
3. That's 1d6.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
3.
8.
I've got great news. Most of the goblins behind the lead goblin immediately fall asleep.
Oh, everybody meet your new boss.
Oh, sorry, not this boss. So, 6 of the 7 immediately fall asleep. The 7th looks drowsy for a moment, then wrestles it off and clashes with AJ, trying to force the door shut, shouting, "It's the surface raid! A surface raid! It's as we feared!" Behind him, you can see what seems like a very large, bustling marketplace of goblins, an entire goblin city. And conveniently, none of them are really paying that much attention. They're all much too wrapped up in their goblin-y business to be immediately consumed in this matter. Now let me verify how this looks. I've got to do a little bit more setup with the dynamic lighting on, daylight mode off.
Is there like non-lethal, like subdual damage in this?
Yes, there is. Ross, I think, has the number written up somewhere. Okay, I'm not totally sure what this looks like. Okay, so that's what it looks like from your perspective.
What if this is how the Vikings felt raiding Lindisfarne? Like, look at these fucking dinguses. Just gotta walk in here and take their shit.
All right.
That's another thing in this setting
Yeah,
that happens regularly.
It do be happening.
Yeah, that's John's character, whose name I'm trying to remember.
Ulfkill Sniveling.
Right.
Snelling. All right, so it's you guys versus one shockingly sturdy goblin. It is time for initiative. Let me make sure I have... Is this running? It's not running. How about now?
I can only see darkness.
Hey.
Good rolling.
Hey.
This light is on.
For once.
Dynamic lighting has vision, save settings. 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 Can you see now?
I can see.
Definitely see stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can only see stuff?
No, I said I can see stuff.
Okay, cool.
To imply that I can't be 100% sure that I see everything that you want me to, but I'm pretty sure I see.
All right, cool. Praderi has already rolled initiative. House wins sturdily. Praderi, you are in contest with a very strong goblin.
I would like to grapple him.
Alrighty. I cannot remember exactly how that works.
Well, do we need to do spells first, or is spells? already-
Yes. First, declare spells. I often forget that, as I rarely have spells.
Yeah, honestly, I got no sleeps left, and I got nothing else that would. Are we trying to kill this guy?
If you're grappling him, you're probably trying to subdue him, right?
Yeah. So
More will cast Charm Person.
good call.
Okay, that can work.
Does casting that in combat have any added difficulties?
Yes
Not
and no.
according to the rules.
What it does, it works the same way, which is that it establishes a friendship. However, if you're in a pitched fight for your life and you notice an old friend of yours on the other side, that doesn't mean you're going suddenly going to throw down your arms. It just means you're confused and alarmed, more so than before. Conversely, it does offer new possibilities of discussion. If more spoke Goblin, which I don't think that they do.
No. Or at least it has not been established that she does.
All right. A future project.
Is that a creature in front of Ulfkel?
The creature in front of Ulfkel is
You and
Zox,
me.
one of the kobolds.
Oh,
Your good friend, who you just met.
how could I not recognize you?
So remind me how a grapple works. Is that just an
Remind me
attack?
also how grapple works. It's in combat. It's in one of the high-level optional shenanigans.
You make your hit-to-hit roll. You have to hit them first, and then each side rolls a d6 for every HD, for every hit die. And then you take the sum of your hit dice that you roll for d6s and their sum, and if you overcome them, you automatically subdue them, and they can be just killed in the next round, like with no to hit or anything. They just coup de grace. If you fail, you are stunned the next round, and you're thrown off of them, and you can't act.
Okay. I definitely did not hit.
Okay.
It rolled right off
Natural one.
19 onto the 1.
Okay. You do not successfully grapple him. Is anyone else going to assist in the grapple?
I'm assuming this is a more than one hit die creature, so I don't have multiple attacks.
Correct. He, in fact, he seems shockingly good at this.
I'd like to help. I'd step in to assist Prudery.
All right. Let's get an attack roll.
So what? Am I just going to roll a regular dice?
Roll a regular die. Its armor class is 15.
Okay.
You still get your base attack bonus. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Nah.
Unfortunately not.
Two guys behind them.
Well, let me scooch the guys who are unconscious out of the way for the moment. Okay. Is anyone else in a position to... Okay, Naum and Frangag are throwing in.
I mean, if yeah, I mean, if they can they do that?
Yeah, you can pile in. That's one of the advantages of grappling.
Okay.
We're open internet.
One of them got a 19.
That's enough.
I'll say the
enough for-
second one just without looking. The second one has 2 hit dice, so not very good.
The grapple is resolved among those who hit. Okay. The flip side is that this does require him... I believe this requires him to grapple you back.
He just rolls his d6s for all his hit dice, and then if he gets more than me, so I just rolled an 8. So if he gets more than me, I'm like thrown and I'm stunned, and I can't act.
Okay. There's not going to be any melee not going to be any range combat. So here is his hit dice, and it's in d6s.
Woof.
What?
Yeah, I get like tossed across the room.
All right.
That's a lot of
Here's
d6s.
Wait, how do you? Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay. I thought he rolled 1 for each hit die, and he had 3 hit die.
Oh, the ones behind him had 3 hit dice. He has more
Ooh.
than that.
Oh, we just need to kill this guy.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any six hit dice goblins allowed to live.
I mean, I'm with
That
you
should
on
just
that.
be stopped.
Is the door wide enough for us to push through the door?
It might have been if you'd won the grapple, but here's what happens instead. The goblin braces his feet against the door frame, stands between the door and Praderi, shoves Praderi back, and which knocks Ulfkill back. Ulfkill trips over Zox, flattening Zox beneath him. Frangag and Naum are also shoved back, stunned by the impact, and this sturdy, violent little goblin slams the door shut in your faces. And you hear a hubbub rising up behind the door.
I was thinking of jumping in, but it would have been mathematically impossible to outroll him, so I don't feel bad about that.
So they might be coming for us now. Should we retreat?
Does anybody have
Yes.
knock?
No.
Oh.
Does anyone have arcane lock?
I don't have it.
We
I have
just get
wizard
beat
lock.
back
I don't have it
Actually-
memorized.
I think one of you guys has Hold Portal. Yeah, Murdigan has Hold Portal.
Yeah. Would you like for him to do that? For Derry?
It would be a good idea. I think.
Sure.
All right. So he does his Membo Jumbo.
Do you want to describe it in some sort of fanciful fashion, or should we move forward?
Well, we have 14 minutes left, so
We should
It's very
like put spikes
Web.
on the other door, so that they can't just open that thing.
true.
Wait, the other door meaning the second of the two
The
iron
mushroom
doors
door,
that swing, or
yeah.
do you mean the mushroom door?
The mushroom door as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that way they can't like flank us, at least in an obvious way.
Praderi, well, how many iron spikes will it take?
2.
2. All right, Praderi will use those.
Okay. Murdigan makes whatever... Sorry, one moment. Murdigan makes whatever hand signs and gestures and incantations are necessary to hold a portal, and the portal trembles briefly with fastness, and you sense that there is absolutely nothing getting through that fucking door for a while. Heretic?
Is there space underneath of the door?
In the most technical sense, yes, but not enough for like you to fit a finger under.
Or a
You
snake.
can see
What about a snake? Is what I'm talking about.
no. It is
You
Well,
could
but-
try to open it.
But did he close the port? He did, I think.
I don't think he
closed
opened the port. He just opened.
Yeah, he
Wow,
did.
that's
he just
a good
opened the whole
point.
door.
That's right.
We could try to shimmy that port open, but I doubt that it would be worth our time. But maybe.
Yeah.
Not with the spells on it.
Yeah, I'd probably. Okay. Well, let's start moving, and also get off me.
Oh, excuse me.
Ugh. That's the strongest
Okay.
goblin I've seen in my life. He says, having never seen a goblin actually.
Then I guess in that case, that did not go well. But I think we need to start making our way back to the boat. Does anyone disagree?
I mean, we have some time. We stand to lose another 7 gold pieces or more, so unless we're low on spells, we haven't even used web yet. Let's just go down another passage real quick.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
You retreat back down the main path,
Yep.
back to the steamy caves.
Yep.
All the way
Okay.
through the lit corridor.
Who's
Oh, yeah, you
mapping?
guys-
Is anybody mapping?
I'm sort of.
Yeah, John.
Sort of
Matthews
is-
takes notes.
Sort of's not
Yeah.
bad.
Not bad.
Can we dislodge like 2 or 3 of the glowing stones on
Yes.
our way back? Okay.
You retrieve them. The glowing stones are about yay big. They glow, as mentioned, with a sort of pale green light.
How big are they?
About yay
I-
big.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. And I want to take a bunch too.
All right. Now part of the
Super
issue.
useful.
Just
Okay.
looting.
They work underwater?
Most of them are upstairs. Most of them are high enough on the ceiling that getting to them would require the expenditure of a fly spell, which is
Oh, I thought
frankly
they
a
were in
dubious
the
expenditure.
floor.
Some of them are, and those are the ones which you plunder.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I don't have fly memorized.
Alrighty. You escape back to the main. Yes. Another couple of hours pass. And you make it back to the entrance. You make it back to the entrance of the tunnel. Let me go ahead and focus ping. From here, you can proceed to the north, or you can proceed back to the south, or you can set off in an unknown direction.
You're gonna have to move the party again.
Thank you. I thought I had, but apparently I had not.
We're still looking at the battle scene.
I know.
Okay.
How about now? Sorry, I'm
Give me a
used to.
second.
I'm still getting used to this this toolkit. I spent a year using Foundry.
I do not see. Oh, yep, but there we are,
Okay.
all the way on the right. So we came from
Came from the north, I
south,
think.
Yes,
Oh,
you
Wait,
came
which
from the
was-
south.
okay.
so we'll continue along the north.
Okay.
Did anyone want to sacrifice a web spell in the tunnel just in case?
Good idea. Maybe we could close
How
the
does that
tunnel
last?
off.
That was Ross's idea first.
Which tunnel do you want?
The one we just left.
I can't. Unfortunately,
Here,
that tunnel
come-
is a
come
solid
back
80
in.
feet across, so it's
Oh.
not. Yeah.
It's a
I
beach.
got
However-
sleep spells. There's the snakes. I think we can take a bunch of goblins.
True. And for also, yeah, if some goblins do come after you, you have lightning bolt prepared.
Yeah.
But apparently they come in
We
6
want-
HD goblin.
Yeah, they apparently
we
can
want
come
them
in
to
pretty
get
sturdy.
there.
Murdigan did seal the door behind you pretty solidly. He thinks it was some of his best work, and so you suspect it will be a while before you are given chase. So you burn 30 minutes meandering around this path. You follow the path along the way. I don't know exactly what this looked like from your perspective, but basically you follow the path. You take a sharp right, then it goes north again, then it goes west again. So it goes dip, dip. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave little torches that you can use to see where you have been.
Okay, so there's another cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I love another cul-de-sac with space to hide in if you needed to, and were willing to cram yourself into a wedge in the rock. The area around you is surrounded with geothermal eruptions of water. There's a lot of steam in the air, a lot of biology happening in the thermal vents.
Wow.
Cool. All right, we'll continue on.
Okay. You know the approximate shape of things. You cover along the wall, cover a bit more distance, and encounter no particular danger. In the distance, you hear a slow, ponderous footstep that recedes into the distance and vanishes from your perception.
Like
If your memory,
Go ahead.
yeah, like something enormous moving. If your memory serves you rightly, a little farther and you'll get to the crevasse where you found the big skull. Do you want to continue?
Yes.
You reach the aforementioned big crevasse. The crevasse is wide enough that you cannot see the other side through your light, though the mists are beginning to fade here. Far below you, some 80 feet below you, if I remember correctly, the river flows steadily.
Did
And
the
yes, there's an 80-foot deep gorge, and at the bottom of it, thanks to your broad lights, you can see the midden that was cast here by an unknown power, which includes a broad selection of skeletons, including goblins, humans, whatever the hell that big skull thing was, although it doesn't look like there's many of those, maybe one or two. And what else? Some more gigantic, misshapen human skeletons of a sort which feel familiar, but which you can't pin off the top of your head.
Okay. Did the footsteps are we able to place an elevation they might have been at, or is the cave bouncing the sound too much?
The cave bounces the sound too much. You think it came from the southwest somewhere.
Okay.
From over here.
So we'd probably want to go back the way we came along the wall rather than cutting across or something then, right? What would y'all like to do? Would y'all like to continue along the crevasse?
Yeah, as far as we can go. Well, explore.
Okay.
We get some money.
We got 4 minutes. We're not going to get any money, but we can at least
Yeah.
we could at least get some more map.
You do get some more map, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Get a better sense of where to come next time.
Yeah. Also, we do have ever burning light sources now. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. You have Bloombad has been able to make
two of those.
burning lights.
Oh,
Light
okay. I
sources
didn't
for a
realize you
while.
already had one.
But yeah, they're very good to have.
We have several. We have like a dozen, half a dozen, something.
Okay.
Not counting the stones we just grabbed.
Yeah, I thought the stones were the first ones. Never mind.
Got myriad sources of light. So
Okay.
was that just it of the crevasse? It was just that gap there?
That was it of the crevasse.
Okay.
The crevasse extends across this space. It is wide enough that you cannot quite see the other side of it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Yes.
And we also can't get to the only way to get across will be to get to the bottom through all the disgusting trash and then climb back up the other side. So that just seems like a barrier.
Well,
Yeah,
Magnus can fly, just not today. But only one of you can fly.
We would likely need to bring like some rope ladders rolled up or something like that underneath.
And we don't know how much length would be necessary.
We know how far it is down.
Okay.
Oh, down, yeah.
The last time that we were here, Magnus flew down there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have some great news for Magnus, which is that as you advance forward, you are assailed by a collection of 14 giant rats, each one enormous and hungry to tear your flesh. Do you want to blast them to shreds using a lightning bolt?
Why not?
All right. Roll damage, my good sir.
Just straight damage, huh?
It's... perhaps I won't have to roll saving throws. Let's go ahead and roll. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's see what happens.
These creatures which you see before you, they look malnourished. They look like they've been feeding off of the scum on the walls. Where they
Wait,
do
I'm
have
lost. Did Magnus fly again and he's flying down into the hole?
No.
No. We were just discussing that he has the capability. Oh, wait, you meant last time. Shit, never mind. I'm shutting up.
The
Last
range
time
is
he did go down into the hole using flight and fetch the big skull that way.
Okay.
but the range is 240 feet. So yeah. Okay, great. So this is going to be 66 then.
Mm-hmm.
So
Seeing the rat, Batu just yells, "Oh no, not again!" And then suddenly lightning.
I was thinking, I'm trying to get a sense what's happening. Does he see rats right now? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
Yeah, to our south.
happens-
Nothing to do with
Yes.
the crevice.
Okay.
To your south, you are approached by a mob of ravened rats, whose approach is heralded by loud squeaking as
Yeah.
they come into view through the mists. You can see that they are malnourished and ravenous.
Yeah,
perhaps
they're like
according to their
semi-sapient.
tremendous-
They like fall to their knees as they see this glowing light approaching. Finally, our salvation.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
That
Arcs
may be
of
the story
lightning.
which is told later, and then a brighter light appears, blowing them all to little bits.
Busting everybody's
at-
eardrums.
It's my time,
last-
my friends.
As
I've
at
been
last, Magnus
chosen.
finds a opportunity to test his magic in the field, and a overwhelming incandescence briefly fills the cave with overwhelming light and sound. And in its absence, several 14 rat skeletons lie perfectly defleshed and carbonized before crumbling into dust.
Question is are we blinded by this, or are we able to discern anything of the cave in front of us where the blast went from this blast?
You know what? I'll give it to you. Here's what you can. Here's what you catch during the moment, during that brief flash of light before you are blinded by incandescence.
Burned
Which
into
is-
our retinas.
Yes.
Should
The cave is absolutely enormous. You can see a vague sense of light. You can see the cave extends. Hang on a second, gotta get this freaking thing. You know what? I'll do you one better. I'm just gonna mark all the spots within line of sight with you with a little flash, and spare me an enormous amount of time trying to describe it.
Been really unfortunate for there have been just like a wall right there.
That would have been extremely funny.
So just to clarify, does the lightning bolt still make a lot of noise?
Yes, it's a lightning bolt,
It does. Okay.
which might be a good excuse for you guys to leave, now that you've had a moment to get a sense of the shape of the map from here. Let's see. Yeah, that's what you're gonna see. Oh,
Okay.
no, I forgot the other direction. Okay. Can you see this? Can you see the map? Are these
Yeah.
areas visible to you?
The outline is it's not shadowy.
Say again?
I can see like the walls on either side, but the middle is all shadowy.
That's normal. That was my intent. I don't want you to be able to see.
Okay.
You have the shape of it. You're not sure of everything in it. After all, this was
Okay.
illuminated by a millisecond flash of light.
Okay.
And with that, it is 8:30. Wisely, to the north, you hear a unhappy rumbling from across the chasm. One which immediately engenders in all of you, but especially the kobolds, a primordial fear of the sort that no living creature should long endure. At once, you wisely decide to be feet. You return to the surface world, not much richer in material wealth, but far richer in knowledge. And having survived many tremendous perils. Turn down the music a bit. I never keep track of all these songs. Is this the one?
So we know that it's not just wide open cavern. There's walls on the interior.
Yes.
Can't believe you guys got out-wrestled by a goblin.
I know.
I was about to say, like, however dumb those goblins are, they really know how to pick a doorman.
Right?
So, briefly recounting the major things you've noticed. One, the realm beyond the Great Cavern that you've gone to, huge, very big, gigantic, has large things in it. Two, you found what seems like a very large compound of goblins where they're producing an enormous amount of trash, commensurate with an extremely large settlement. Three, some of the goblins in that settlement are extremely powerful warriors. Four, they also have access to some sort of chthonic magic, which they're using to produce a source of light. And 5, lightning bolt is awesome.
Way too late for this now, but did the goblin resist Moore's charm person?
God, I sure hope so. Let me.
Yeah, it's way past now, so it's too late to go back. It completely blanked on me.
How do saving throws work for monsters? It's one of the. I'll come back to that. He rolled a 14. We can hold me to that.